What's up guys, Gio from TechT here, and today we're going to take a look at the Nothing phone, and I have here a picture of it, and this was just released this morning, and here you see the full back of the phone, which is exciting, and that just got me to think, alright, you know what, let me make a video about it, to share my thoughts on the subject, and just Nothing in general. For some time, it has been a hefty amount of negativity around what Nothing has been doing. You see people like MKBHD, the big ballers of the industry, sort of shitting a little bit on the whole thing they're going with, you know. And I've just heard this wider opinion upon the Nothing Ear 1 that were released half a year ago, that people didn't like the overhype of it. And I understand why you'd be mad at that. They are going a little bit hard with their marketing, Nothing. I will say that, and they still are with the phone. But I mean, you gotta create hype. I think it's set just within the fine distance between not being too much, where it's like devastating towards the company of Nothing. They're sort of going a little bit for the any talk about the company is good talk type of thing, but they're not sort of shamelessly doing that. So it is working, in my opinion. And I would say I do feel the people that are kind of a little bit chilling on the whole subject, just to not get the expectations too high. And that is a actual thing that you should probably do in the tech industry, because you see a lot of stuff where it's painted up to be this beautiful, new, revolutionary, great thing, and in reality it's just yet another fucking Android phone or whatever it is. And I think what I've been feeling is that some people look at Nothing as yet another, and I understand it, but I do think that from what I've seen from it and what I feel, and for the people involved, then I get the feeling that it is actually indeed not just yet another, that they do actually have some grand vision that they're trying to work towards. They're forming themselves as a company slowly and steadily. I think it's important to really imagine the end goal for these people, the long-term goal. What do they want? Do they want to be the other Samsung, just spitting out, or Xiaomi or OnePlus, just spitting out a bunch of models everywhere, just kind of losing the whole like design line and, you know, clean going forward vision type of thing? Or are they actually going for players like Apple and Google? You know, they say themselves, or Carl Pei said it's the Apple thing, and therefore also the Google thing is kind of the same setup of a company. And I believe him too, you know. I feel like he's speaking truly there. I think another thing that's important to notice that Carl Pei has actually done or tried to do this a little bit before with OnePlus, but he was, you know, in a different place in his career back then. And as we see today, he was under a lot of pressure from Oppo and BBK, and they sort of controlled what he could do. So he was very limited. That's my vision. That I don't know, obviously, but I'm quite sure that's probably what was the case. And he tried, and he enjoyed having the opportunity to make this. Without BBK or Oppo, he wouldn't be able to properly, right? But now he did this. Now he's this guy, right, that's respected for taking a company that's nothing to an actual like multi-million-dollar company like that OnePlus is. And therefore he was like, all right, you know, OnePlus is getting messy, and I don't like it no more. It's too restrictive. Let me get out. Let me start my own fucking company. And that's what he's doing, you know. And he's back at it again, you know, with clever marketing, branding, the name Nothing, you know. And he's getting investors, like big people like I don't actually know remember the names, but I'll put it up on screen. Casey Neistat is involved too, I know. Some pretty serious people, I think, in terms of money and in terms of let's get stuff done. It's not some low homebrewed garage shop type of thing. And now they have an established company. They're expanding rapidly, 300 employees at this point, I think he said. They sold 500,000 units of their year one, which is also impressive for a startup company, right? And they had this community investment, which I will see, that's probably one subject that people have been sort of hating on a little bit, because you ask for money, so much money, before you even release really a lot of or any true products. But they did release the year one though. I don't know, dude. I mean, it's an investment. People can just not invest if they don't want to. It's not there's a chance it's gonna go south, and the company's gonna fail completely and stuff. But that's a risk you take normally. And I personally did actually invest some little sum of money. But that's because I believe it will become a big company, right? If anything, I just think it will definitely thrive. I'm not sure it's gonna actually compete with Apple anytime soon, at least, or if ever, you know what I'm saying? But I'm excited, and I hope it will, obviously. But even though it might not do that, I still believe it's going to become a very thriving company. You know, just like you see companies like Realme going from nothing to like a pretty fairly sizable, heavy company that can do stuff. Again, that's under the BBK. But what is BBK? What is production equipment and its money? Now, Nothing has got the money and the production type of thing. I think Carpe can manage to work out some deals, you know, with some manufacturers in China somewhere, right? I think I feel like it's quite realistic. I know easy job is not, but yeah. And another thing we see is that the distribution system of Nothing is also very already like expanded. Even in a little country of Denmark, like where I live, we can still go to the official Danish Nothing website and buy the ear ones and get them sent directly to me with fast shipping and all that stuff. And that just goes to show that, all right, so because distributing a product and like getting it manufactured at large and getting it out to the masses, out in the whole world, it's not an easy job. That's arguably one of the hardest parts of getting this thing to roll, right? So seeing that they sort of have shown that they are already aware and they already have a good grip of this, it does get me quite excited and does make me feel like it's probably realistic that this could become a thing, right? All right, let's talk about the design of the phone, and I'll put it up on screen. I have it here as well, just for myself to reference this a little bit. So we've been getting some teasers during the last week or two from the look of the phone. It kind of I didn't expect it to actually come out already. Now it's still a month till it releases. I did expect them to just sort of do the grand reveal, you know, July 12th. They would just like, we've never seen anything, and then they would just like drop it there. But now we actually have it right here, the back of the phone, the whole back of the phone. And I think it's quite clear to think that the front of the phone is going to have symmetrical bezels, which is fucking epic. And then it's just a hole punch, so you can just sort of imagine how that would look good, right? But the back of the phone is also really, it's the, you know, identity of the phone in most cases. The only one that's sticking out there a little bit is iPhone, because they got the notch situation, and that then you can sort of recognize an iPhone from the front a lot. Whereas with Android phones, generally, when you don't have a notch type of thing, it's not as easy to recognize from the front, which is what it is. But from the back though, and this is definitely recognizable. I will say if you sort of squint your eyes a little bit and don't really focus on it, it will look like a white iPhone 12 or something, right? And then already we have the gray, I'll put it up screen, the gray borders, the flat borders of the phone look like iPhone 12. But then again, you know, it's not like Apple have invented this grand fucking shape. It's like it's a flat phone, flat edges, rounded. It looks good. They were the first one to do it. And generally my view on it is that Apple walked so that everybody else could crawl. And that's the thing you see again and again in the smartphone industry. But it is a nice design, and I generally like the feeling and the handling and the look. It's a very striking look of the newer iPhones. And for this one to get that too is quite exciting. And then obviously, when you get into the details of the phone, you'll see all the textures and the different elements and the screws and the little things. And then you have this overarching pattern that we saw teased in the beginning, that some people say it's gonna light up like LED. That would be cool, you know? So it sort of lights up so you can see where the charging port is. It lights up around the camera as the flash. Then again, there is a little flash, so I don't know. Maybe, I don't know if it will light up. Could be cool. I mean, that would set it apart. Yeah, but other than that, one thing I will say is that it is actually a little more boring than I expected, you know. And I also had high expectations, and you sort of visualize things, and automatically your brain wants what you visualize. Shoutout there. But you know, I think it's a case of, it's quite comfortable looking, you know. It's not too wild, it's not too tacky, right? It's just sort of like, okay, a little transparency, a little bit of layers, you know, but it's all white. You know, it looks almost 3D, like layered. You can feel the texture here, but I think it's pretty sure it's just gonna be glass, and then you see the stuff underneath, which is gonna make the feeling of the phone much more simple to touch. That's an important thing, when a thing not only looks good but also feels good, you know, on the tip of your fingertips. I'm a big fan of flat screens. I'm using the Pixel 6 Pro. I'm also having the OnePlus 10 Pro, both curved screens, right? And it's just not as nice and comfortable as a flat screen. Flat screen is just the nicest. So I really like, except for a little bit of a fatter bezel around the border of the iPhones, I definitely do prefer the flat screen. And if you can make this on this one, and Carpe released on the Twitter that it's going to be symmetrical, which I'm so hyped about it. Like, damn, that's going to be epic, right? Now, how fat are the bezels going to be? I don't know. I feel like they're not going to be too fat, right? I'll put a picture up here, and a shout out to the leak of Ben Geskin. He made the render type of thing. And there you see the symmetrical front of the phone with a hole punch. Clean. I think we got ourselves a pretty cool fucking phone. And it's 6.55 inches, which is also really a comfortable size. It's not too small, it's not too big. It's like pretty good, you know. One thing I want to talk about is that nothing from the beginning had been like, all right, let's let's like scrape everything down to the basic, the core function of things, and let's show them. Let's make it transparent. Let's make it minimalistic, and let's put nothing there that doesn't need to be there, right? So tech that fades into the background. That's been their slogan, or maybe still is. I remember watching a Mr. Who's the Boss video where he talked about the Nothing Here one, and he pointed out that when they had this slogan, it's a cool slogan, it's a nice concept, but in reality, if you compare the Nothing Ear one to the AirPods Pro, for example, which is like arguably, or AirPods in general, like arguably the most popular wireless earbuds, which one fades mostly into the background? Like which one goes away and sort of doesn't stick out in your eyes as much? That's the AirPods Pro. So they fail at their own concept, do they, right? So, but I think it's been growing pains at the company. They're just trying to figure out what they really are. What I like about the ear ones is that it, compared to the AirPods Pro, which is a boring, clean looking, nice, white, aesthetic, but it's also boring. You don't sit and look at it and just wonder at it. No, it's like, all right, cool, let's go. When you look at the ear ones though, what I like about those is that it is the type of product that you will actually wonder at. You will look at it, you'll turn around, you'll go, right? Like every part of it, and it's like attention to detail in the transparent version of it. It's like, it's high quality and it's nice, and it's very interesting. It's not gimmicky, it's not so printed texture. It's actually true texture. You can look into stuff. Ironically, it doesn't make it fade into the background, but it still is more exciting. It's exciting. And that's why here Carl Pei talk a lot about the excitement of tech,
Apple and Samsung, they're great. They're big companies, they make a lot of money. It's great from that perspective, probably a bit boring from a consumer perspective. We just want to make people feel something, They're super boring. Hopefully we create a product that really sparks some change in the industry. Yeah, it's over here. I mean, just look at this. Most of the time you just have to give it to somebody and they will be like, whoa, what's this? It looks so cool.
You want to be excited about stuff. You want to really like be interested and like flip it around and go curious, get this curiosity around the tech and get it hyped and excited and interesting. So it's not just some bland, another flat piece of, what I'm saying. And I really do like that because you have, again, I'm a big fan of Google and Apple as like, those are my favorite brands. But what Apple and Google have in common is that they're very conservative, very clean, simple, minimalistic, and I like it. But you can definitely describe it as boring. It works so well, but it is boring. That's one thing that's really big about Apple, is they make such good products, but it is also boring, right? And for a lot of people, they don't get boring, exciting, whatever. They just need a good ass product that works for their use case scenario, and I respect that. And that's what Apple then serves them, right? But if you're like me and more enthusiastic people that sort of read tech news every day and kind of get excited about it, having a company like Nothing doing the new design language and sort of having this vibe that they want to make stuff exciting again, sort of disrupt it and like, wake it up, wake the industry up a little bit and make a little bit of spice, and maybe potentially a lot of spice. I like that. And that is shown in the design of the products now. I mean, we can't really do much more than just wait some time. When a month goes by, the phone will be released, and I'll get my hands on it as quick as possible and make an unboxing, reaction video, a review later on, hopefully. That's gonna come out as quick as possible. And yeah, then it's just about giving it some time, see what people think, see how the product is gonna work, and see what's gonna happen, Let's imagine they release the phone, it goes very well, it gets out, they sell 1 million copies, they get some stuff going. We're excited for the Nothing Phone 2 type of thing. That's what I want, this is the very, the very beginning of this company, Like, because they haven't released the phone yet, they're just getting started. And, you don't know, it's very, you have to be a little sensitive with it. But then, if they really do a smashing product with the phone one, one thing is how it looks, another thing is how it works, does it run good, the camera is the haptics good, are the speakers good, is the software integration good, is the software support good, all that stuff we'll have to see. But I'm excited, and yeah, that's been it. Feel free to let me know what you think in the comments, put in your opinions, let's have a discussion, and if you have any ideas for other videos or subjects I can make a video upon or about, just put it in the comments, and yeah. And anyways, I think I'm gonna leave it here. If you feel free to like and subscribe and all that, share the video. And I'm out. My name is TU, Tech T out.